Hello, my murder of crows. Welcome back to my channel. You can call me Lolly. If you hear weird noises or beeping, my window's open. There's construction next door. Yay. So today I'm going to be doing a what's on my makeup wish list. There's 13 items on this list. Let's get into it. So the number one thing on my wish list, I have not bought because it's been out of stock. The minute it comes back in stock, I'm grabbing it. It is the Colored Raine Vivid Pigments eyeshadow palette. So like I said, it's out of stock. I missed whatever the last restock was. Fingers crossed they'll do a restock now that they have this new collection coming out. So the reason that this is like at the top of my list is, as much as I love colorful eyeshadow palettes, I don't own any true rainbow palettes. And, you know, every year in June for Pride Month, a bunch of brands come out with rainbow palettes. And every year people talk about their favorite rainbow palettes, and this is the one that keeps holding my attention. I've also never tried the Colored Raine formula. It's a top contender on a lot of people's lists, and I would love to try it. And this is the thing that I want from the brand. As far as I can tell, it's not limited edition, so I just have to be patient and wait for it to come back in stock. So the next thing, the first couple things are eyeshadow. No surprise. Would be the Kaleidos Futurism palettes. So I definitely want the Sci-Fi green, because I'm definitely embracing green. I like grungy tone greens. Those I'm comfortable playing with. So that's the Futurism 1 is the Sci-Fi green. Futurism 2 is Cyber Bronze, which I really want for that silver, and those are all warm tones I would use. And I like that the eyeshadows in these palettes are magnetic. You can take them out, swap them around, put them in custom palettes. I'm really drawn to that. And number 3, because they have a really cool 3 palette deal, where you choose 3 palettes and you basically get the third one for like $5 or something. It's got me. It's got my attention. I would choose the Astro Pink. That dark berry shade looks really interesting. I don't have too many of those like mauvey neutrals, and I feel kind of ambivalent about that one because the one I actually really wanted was the number 4 VR Neon, but that one's no longer listed on their website, and I know that the number 4 and 5 in that collection were limited edition, so I guess that one is sold out. You know, those are colors that seem to be pretty popular in colorful neon palettes, so they'll make my way into my collection eventually, but I am a little bummed that that one sold out before I was ready to pull the trigger. Okay, so number 3 on my list is the Nabla Dreamy 2 palette. And I was sold on this palette because of Alex the Alchemist's review of it. Nabla has been on my radar for eyeshadow for a while. Definitely have been inspired by Mia's Virtual Vanity, another awesome YouTuber I watch. But it was really Alex's video digging into it, and definitely seeing that darkest shade is not a black. It's like a deep, dark purple. And as much as I like bold eye looks, I right now have trouble working with black. It's really hard for me to use black eyeshadow and not have things just look messy. The rest of the color story looks great. I'm curious about their formula. This one's available at Ulta, so it's not quite the time to bring in a new eyeshadow palette just yet. I'll probably buy it eventually. So number 4 is the Sugar Pill Fun Size palette. Kind of like with the Colored Raine palette, as in terms of that being my rainbow palette of choice, the Sugar Pill I think is going to be my pastel palette of choice. I've never tried Sugar Pill formula. Their normal pan sizes are intimidatingly big. But this little thing, what I've seen of the reviews, looking at the color range, yeah, it lives up to its name. I don't really have a lot of pastels in my collection. I guess the exception being my depotted NYX Ultimate Brights, which isn't really supposed to be a pastel palette, but that's how it works on me because there's no fucking pigment. So I'm interested in a pastel palette that's designed to be light colors, but also be able to have the colors built up. This is another one that I haven't bought because it's been sold out. I don't know if I'll buy it the minute it comes back in stock, but once it's back in stock, I'll kind of assess where I'm at with what I've bought and where my budget is. But that's strong on my radar. And now we've got 2 perfumes. One of them is a much more likely purchase than the other. And that one would be the Ellis Brooklyn Sci-Fi Eau de Parfum. This brand of perfume just came to Ulta. Previously I had only seen them at Sephora. I'm sure they were sold at other places, but in terms of where I can go in and actually smell them during normal times, that's not right now, but whatever. So this one, I picked it up because, oh, a library themed collection and they've got one that's named after sci-fi. I'm gonna smell it. And then I discovered that it is this beautiful vanilla based perfume. The notes are vanilla, bergamot, and green tea. I love vanilla. Like almost all of my perfumes are vanilla based. It's just really hard for me to find something that's not like a warm, heavy, spicy scent that I think smells good on me. So this one is high on my wish list because it comes in a travel size. I have only ever used up one perfume in my life, and it was a travel size, so I'm not really looking to splurge on a $100 full-size bottle. And that is why this next one might not be a buy, because so far I can't see a travel size for this. And the full size is stomach cramp inducing expensive for someone who's not used to buying full-size perfume. This is the Ford Métallique perfume. And this one was available at Sephora. I think it might not be available there anymore, but it's definitely available at like Nordstrom's and Tom Ford website and everything. But this one has notes of vanilla and sandalwood, balsam, bergamot, pink peppercorn, and a couple other light florals. I mean, it's been so long since I've been able to actually smell samples of these, but that was another one that, like, I smelled it and I was like, oh, I like it so much and it's so expensive. But, you know what? If I'm someone who buys, like, one nice perfume a year and I get a lot of love out of the few that I have, it can live on this wish list for a while. Cool. Alright, next item on my wish list is one of the Marc Jacobs Highliner gel liners. I've heard great things about the formula, especially for staying in the waterline, and I am in love with that blue shade, Out of the Blue. That is like my dream waterline blue color. I'm hesitant to spend that much on an eyeliner, especially on an editorial color, because I'm not going to use it as much as a black. And I really don't use like pencil eyeliners as much as I just use like my liquid liner on the top. But I am super curious, and I kind of feel like there's something to be said for, if apart from the price everything else seems perfect about it, maybe that's, you know, your splurge item for that budget month, or, you know, when it comes to spending a gift card or something. So not much more to say. It's an eyeliner, and specifically that color. I swatch it every time I've been able to go into a store and see it. Speaking of swatching, the next thing is, I don't know if this is really something I want, but it's something I desperately want to go in and swatch, and it is the Fenty Cream blushes. I only own one cream blush. It is a super cheap e.l.f. cream to powder blush. I don't even know like what shade it is. I think it only comes in one shade. It might be discontinued. I don't know. But I bought that one just to be like, hey, are you even going to use a cream blush? And yeah. It took me a little bit to find a brush that worked with it, that didn't really mess with like this disturbing like foundation underneath it. But now that I know what kind of brush works for my makeup style and a cream blush, I am interested in looking at the Fenty blushes. I'm really interested in swatching them. So one day, something to look forward to. So the next item is also a blush. This is one I have swatched, definitely want, meant to buy, and bought the wrong shade. This is one of the CoverFX blush duos, and I'm jonesing after the shade Warm Honey. The one I bought is Spice Cinnamon. I got confused because they're both food names. I like Spice Cinnamon. It's similar to my cream blush. It took me a minute to find the brush that I can use with it because it's a little bit too dark. These blushes are really pigmented. Well, the matte's really pigmented. The shimmer highlighter side is pretty easy to use, and my side has more wear in it because it's easy for me to wear that one. But the matte side, it's a little bit too pigmented for my makeup style. But again, I've found the right brush that helps me get a really, really light application, and now I've started using it more. But I'm pretty sure that Warm Honey is the shade that I would love forever. Cool. All right. So now we've got a couple of base products. So the first one is one that I've technically bought, in the sense that I've bought the sample. So this is the Raine Beauty Foundation. In reading the description of the foundation, it seems like a formula I really like. The price point's right. The shade range and the ethos of this brand is great. I have finally purchased the samples of the 4 lightest shades. I don't know if they're gonna be light enough for me. They might be light enough for a summer shade, but that's why I bought the samples. So those are in the mail right now, and with buying a sample you get a discount code to use towards a full-sized product should one of those shades work for you. I'm down to like a quarter of a bottle of my current foundation. So, you know, if one of those shades works out for me, if I like that formula, I'll probably be picking up one of those. If I don't like the formula, if the shade's not right, the runner-up is looking at the NYX Tinted Skin Veil. I think this formula, I've seen some of the reviews where, even though it's kind of marketed as a kind of tinted moisturizer, I've seen some people say it looks kind of dry. I have combination oily skin, but my cheeks are quite dry, so I don't know how I would really like this formula. But it's affordable enough that that's something that I'm fine taking more of a gamble on. But I definitely want to see if the Raine Beauty ones work for me before trying out the NYX one. Last couple of products here. Alright, so next is a brand that I really want to try, and that is Cheekbone Beauty. They are a indigenous-owned lip product brand based in Canada. And I definitely want to try a couple of their items. I'm not going to purchase from them quite yet because right now, with how often we're wearing masks, I'm not wearing lip products as much. I'm not really getting the full enjoyment out of them. But when I'm ready to pull the trigger on ordering from Cheekbone Beauty, I definitely want to try one of their bullet formulas and one of their liquid lipsticks. I'm definitely drawn to that super dark purple, the shade Amber. A couple of days ago, I pulled out a bullet black lipstick from a bag of stuff I had to get rid of, because I thought, I'm just not going to wear black lipstick. And I'm like, I'm bored. I want to try something. Let me try this thing again. And I did a look with it. I'll put a photo up And I liked it, but the reason it had gone into that bag was the same thing that I saw again, was that while it is just like a black lipstick, it was too cool toned. And it really brought out the green that's around my mouth. I am kind of pale, plus being like a yellow undertone, so the blue of my veins combines with the yellow undertone to make a green cast. Isn't color theory fun? So this black lipstick, it just leaned a little bit cool toned, so it just kind of gave this kind of sickly pallor to my skin. I had to like use a lot of bronzer to kind of compensate for it. So I'm interested, I'm kind of on the hunt for a lip product or two that's like something that's going to read as black but is a warm undertone, like a purple or an oxblood. So again, that whole story, this liquid lipstick in the color amber, that would fit the bill. All right, last product to talk about, again kind of a brand, is the Kiko Milano Summer 2020 collection. Kiko Milano, their collections, the packaging is always beautiful. I have a couple other items. I have one of their blushes from their last collection, and I want to try more stuff from them. I'm probably most interested in getting one of the bronzers, seeing as I technically only own one bronzer. And now that I've gotten a little bit of summer color, it's too light for me. It barely shows up at all. This collection should, at some point, come to Ulta. This is an Italian brand, so I think their releases in the States have been delayed. But this collection, I'm pretty sure, will eventually come to Ulta. Been keeping my eye on it. In this collection, there's also some blushes and some highlighters and some other things. I might look at swatches of those, see if there's more than one that really calls to me, but I think the bronzer is kind of the one. And if it sells out, there will be more releases. It'll be fine. Okay, cool. So that's like my cream of the crop wish list for makeup. These are not things I'm gonna, go out and all buy immediately, as I explained. These are items that have sat on my wish list for months in some cases, or the idea of an item, like, a warm leaning dark lipstick has sat on my wish list for a while, combined with really wanting to try this brand. These just kind of like, they hit all the marks of things that I would like to spend my fun budget on. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know, are any of these things on your wish list? Have you tried them? Let's chat. Let's have a fun time. Anyway, I hope you have a good rest of your day. I hope you get to learn something cool today. Black Lives Matter. I have a link in my description box to donate to bail funds across the country. Protests are still happening. Alright. I will see you folks in my next video. And now I'm gonna go play with my brand new photo editing software that lets me do a lot more fancy things. Okay, bye.